Hiya folks, a normal 10 game week this week, so welcome to week 21's DJ Living Fantasy Premier League. Alright folks, the last two results left from the league last week's games. So a big score there, 4-2 Man City Spurs and a 1-1 draw for Crystal Palace. So that brought the total of 29 goals for last week's game, week 20's fixtures with 7 clean sheets. But let's have a quick look now at the runners and riders for the DJ Living Premier League. George Vasilakis is still top. He managed 84 points this week and he's got 1-2-6-1. Daniel Madabula, 81 points for 1-2-4-8. They've been the top two now for the last couple of weeks. And Adam Anderson had a great week this week, 89 points. He's bumped himself up a few places into third place. The best score this week, surprisingly, was DJ Living's team. 94 points I got. But I will say I used a triple captain on Haaland this week. So that's the main reason why I've got the best score this week of 94 points. Still to play for though. Teams can go up and down quite rapidly, but we'll see what the rest of the season brings. But let's now crack on with the weekend's fixtures. So we started off with a Liverpool 0-0 against Chelsea, 2 clean sheets. If you've got either the defenders, that's a great result. If you've not, and you've got the attackers, which a lot of people have, and people like Salah, Werner or Sterling, then you're a bit of a loss this week for that result. Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Leicester 2, Brighton 2. Southampton 0, Aston Villa 1, good result for Villa. West Ham 2, Everton 0. This resulted in Frank Lampard being sacked by Everton a few days after that result. Feel sorry for Frank. I think he's been dealt a very harsh task there at Everton, and whoever goes in there now is going to have another challenge on their hands. Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. Good result for Palace. Disappointing for Newcastle. They've looked for 3 points really that game. Leeds 0, Brentford 0. Man City 3-0 win over Wolves. Haaland getting back on the score sheet again. Arsenal 3-2 winners over Manchester United with Rashford scoring and Eddie Nketiah scoring. He scored a couple of goals now since he's replaced Jesus. And let's see what happens with Trossard over there at Arsenal. And then the last result, Fulham 0, Spurs 1. Spurs not exactly pulling up trees, but a victory is a victory. So that resulted in 18 goals for this week, which is pretty low, and 10 clean sheets. So 10 out of 20 teams kept a clean sheet this week, and there was 5 draws. New signings now starting to trickle through. So we've got Trossard at Arsenal. He's been on the bench for a couple of games, and he did play. He played a few minutes in the end of that last game. So Tottenham have picked up another winger today, nicked him from Everton. There's talk of Gordon leaving Everton and going to maybe Chelsea. There's a few names being bandied about clubs here and there, but there's a handful of good signings so far, I think. But I think we'll see more towards the end of this window, definitely. Arsenal, another victory, a good victory against Manchester United, winning there in the last few minutes of the game, getting that winning goal 3-2. If they win their game in hand on Man City, they're going to be 8 points. I know there's 15 games to go, but the way Arsenal are playing, are they looking likely title contenders this year? Because Man City are not looking as solid as they did in their first couple of months. We'll see. Anyway, following on from that, we're going to now look at Team of the Week. So we'll start off with an first time for Team of the Week for a Gator. I don't know how you say it. It's Crystal Palace goalkeeper, managed 10 points this week, good score for in that 0-0 draw against Newcastle. Kurt Zuma got 11 points for West Ham. Estupinan, another one tricky to say, Brighton and Hove Albion. Defender 9 points, Emerson Royal 9 points, and Lee Ayling from Leeds got 8 points. There's a few defenders on 8 points there, but Ayling was the cheapest one. Midfield, we've got Jared Bowen, 16 points for West Ham, managed to get a brace in that game. Anthony for Bournemouth got 10 points, and Mitoma for Brighton got another 10 points. 2 Brighton players in the Team of the Week this week. As far as the strikers are concerned, we're looking at not being on the score sheet in the last couple of weeks, but Haaland 17 points this week. Eddie Nketiah got 13 points in the Arsenal game, and Surridge from Nottingham Forest got 8 points. Same again, there's a few on 8 points, but Surridge picked it on the cheap value. Right, let's look back now on the players I said to watch this week, and then we'll follow it up with next week's players to watch. So before I said this week, in goalkeeper, Raya from Brentford, 10 points. He was equal to the best goalkeeper. Pretty pleased with that. Defender though, Lewis Dunk. Brighton conceded 2 goals against Leicester, which I was a bit surprised at. So Lewis Dunk only ended up with 1 point. Midfield, Almiron, 3 points at Newcastle. He seems to have gone off the ball in the last few weeks, possibly because I started to pick him in the team a week a bit. But he has gone off the ball, he's not scoring as many as he did earlier on the season. So 3 points for him. And then Shay Adams from Southampton in the 1-0 loss to Aston Villa, he got 2 points. So not a great result for my 4 to watch last week. The 4 to watch this weekend though, I'm starting off with David De Gea. Manchester United have got 2 games this week, so the first 2 I'm going to pick, I'm going to De Gea in goal, 4.9 million. Good price for someone of his quality. And then Luke Shaw in defence at 5.2 million. Luke Shaw's been the best scoring of Manchester United defender so far. He's played really well in the second half of the season so far as well. So he's my choice for defender. Both will be 2 games this week. So they're at home to Crystal Palace and then home to Leeds next Wednesday. Then looking at midfield, I picked the Brighton defender March. He's in my team. I think he's on the bench though. I had him a couple of weeks ago when he got a massive score. 5.2 million for March. They're at home to Bournemouth. And then up front, Mbeumo. I did pick him a few weeks ago. Tony, I'd like to pick Tony really, but he's 7 point something million. Mbeumo is only 5.8 million. They're at home to Southampton. Southampton have not got a very good defensive record, so I'm hoping that he can bang in a couple of goals. Maybe, like I say, Tony's probably a better bet if you've got the funds, but if you're looking for a cheap striker for 1 week, then Mbeumo is possibly a good choice. So they're my 4 players to watch. All right, folks, that's it for week 21. Next week's fixtures, we have got the 10 on the weekend and then the 1 on the Wednesday, which I may or may not pick up. Probably not, because I film on a Tuesday or Wednesday normally, so it'll probably be halfway through the game when I'm filming. But Man United and Leeds are the 2 teams that play in that midweek game. So Leeds have got a Sunday, Wednesday game. Man United have got the extra day. They play on the Saturday and the Wednesday. So I'm looking for big points for some of the Man United players. If you've got Man United players, then you could get a good score this week. I think they're 2 teams that Man United really should beat and should beat quite well. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the videos. If you are, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for this and for other bits and pieces I'm putting up on the channel as well. This is a joint channel between me and my wife, so please, if you want to watch any of the videos, feel free. Subscribe, like I say, if you haven't already, and comment below if there's anything you want me to change, anything you want to see better for next year, or you just want to say hello and say I'm doing a good job or a bad job. So that's enough for this week. I'll stop waffling and I shall see you after game week 22.